Hey guys, thank you for watching the SlatRock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Guys, today we present you with 6 dumb gimmicks in wrestling that the audience absolutely loved. Number 6. The Hurricane. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's the Hurricane, so stand back and let this jobber to the stars through. Superhero movies are all over the place these days. One quick look at the box office can tell you that. Things were a little bit different back in the early 2000s though. Those movies were popular, what with the mega hit of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in 2002, but they weren't breaking all the records like they are these days. There were also some pretty big flops back then. Former 3-Count member Sugar Shane Helms was a big fan of the genre and made his love known through his tattoo of the Green Lantern logo. He was inspired by his love of caped heroes to adopt a superhero gimmick during the tail end of the Invasion angle in 2003. It didn't get over much in the early days, but the Hurricane would become a surprisingly popular mid-card act as time went on. It became so popular that by March 2003, the Hurricane was able to secure a mini-feud with Hollywood megastar Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He even managed to pull out a victory against The Rock and had some of the best merchandise sales in the company. Hurricane consistently got a good reaction and he could be slotted just about anywhere on the card, but both he and the WWE felt it was time to shelf the gimmick in 2005. Helms became just plain old Gregory Helms. He didn't have much success as himself, and the Hurricane was brought back for another run in 2008, and we all know how it went. Number 5. The Blue World Order. The Blue World Order started life as a joke meant to last one night and pop the boys in the back at the November to Remember in 1996. Designed to mock the New World Order of WCW, Mike Nova Bucci dressed up as Hollywood Nova to parody Hogan, Stevie Richards became Big Stevie Cool to parody Nash, and the Blue Meanie became the Blue Guy to parody Hall. They had been parodying them for a while, but there was something about the BWO that the fans loved. It became an instantly popular gimmick and pushed Richards up the card, allowing him to ascend to main event status. The BWO was disbanded in July 1997, but they did come back at the 2005 One Night Stand pay-per-view, complete with a comment from Joey Styles on commentary that if there ever was a gimmick that didn't deserve to draw a dime and went on to make a boatload of cash, it was the BWO. The Blue World Order made a few more appearances for the WWE, including having a 6-man tag team match against the Mexicools at 2005's Great American Bash before going away once again. These days, they'll reunite every so often for independent shows and conventions where the gimmick remains popular. It's been 20 years since the team was formed as a throwaway gag, yet the Blue World Order is still taking over. Number 4. Mr. Socko. It feels like just about everything got over massively in the Attitude Era. From the curtain jerker to the main event, just about every performer received a massive response and found themselves involved in a storyline. It was definitely a great period for giving everyone something to do, if nothing else. Not only were the wrestlers over though, but so were the occasional little extras. Things like the kazoos Edge and Christian carried, Al Snow's head, Perry Saturn's moppy, an endless supply of stupid catchphrases, the stink face, and of course, Mick Foley's friend, Mr. Socko. Mr. Socko began life as a literal sock puppet Mankind introduced to cheer up the despondent Mr. McMahon while he lay recovering after Stone Cold Steve Austin opened up a can of whoop-ass on him. After Mankind put on the greatest, or worst, puppet show ever, he was escorted out of the room. McMahon took a second to himself and uttered out the name Mr. Socko with as much disdain as possible. It only took one night for Mr. Socko signs to flood the arenas, with audiences keen to see Foley's sweaty sock make another appearance. Mankind would incorporate Socko into his act, wrapping the dirty sock around his hand before putting on his submission hold, the Mandible Claw. The idea was incredibly dumb, but it got over like no one's business. Socko would receive some of the biggest responses of Foley's matches, and occasionally the entire show. Not that it was a bad thing, Foley had something that he would get a reaction to outside of falling from high distances on the concrete and nearly killing himself. He'd still do that too, of course. I mean, he is Mick Foley after all. Number 3. Gold Dust. One way or another, Gold Dust has proven to have incredible staying power in the business. It's been over 20 years since the character first debuted, yet Gold Dust is still performing for the WWE. 47-year-old Dustin Rhodes has wrestled as himself, Black Reign, and several other gimmicks, but is definitely best known for his time as Goldust. The Goldust character debuted shortly before the start of the Attitude Era and caused anger and confusion among fans with his androgyny and his over-sexualized mannerisms. What was up with this guy painting his face, wearing a gold latex bodysuit, and coming on to other male wrestlers all the time? While the gimmick was controversial, and many felt it was just a way for Vince McMahon to get one over on Dusty Rhodes, Dustin's father, it managed to catch on huge. The popularity of the character has seen Goldust fired and rehired a number of times over the years, as Vince knows that he'll always get a reaction and can be inserted wherever he is needed. Goldust has always managed to keep up with the times and continue evolving himself, despite his flimsy start in the mid-90s. He's always managed to stay relevant. You only have to look at some of his major runs to see that, including teaming with Booker T and his half-brother Cody Rhodes. Goldust is great when he gets serious and tones things down, but he's so much better when he lets go and turns the gimmick up to 11. Lots of people might hate on Goldust, but it's impossible to deny how successful the character has been, even if he made a few missteps, notably having Tourette's syndrome at one point and becoming the artist formerly known as Goldust. Number 2. Damien Mizdow. Damien Sandow deserves some credit for how he always tried his best with whatever the company gave him. He teamed up with Casey James briefly in 2006, became the intellectual savior of the masses, and would ultimately be saddled with an impersonator gimmick. It was during his time as an impersonator that he was hired by Hollywood's superstar The Miz as a stunt double. It basically meant that Sandow would take bumps for The Miz. The gimmick would evolve with the newly christened Mizdow copying the moves and mannerisms of The Miz, even when he wasn't actually wrestling himself. Sandow has since revealed that he wasn't sure how long the gimmick was supposed to last, if it would last one night or go on for longer. He also said that he and The Miz would never rehearse what they were doing beforehand, at least at the start, and that he improvised mimicking Miz's actions and mannerisms. The gimmick got over pretty big, and fans started responding positively towards Mizdow. His newfound popularity led to an inevitable split with his employer, and the pair had a match over the rights to The Miz's gimmick. Miz would win the match, and Mizdow was forced to go back to his old Damien Sandow persona. Considering that it's likely Mizdow was supposed to be a one-night deal, it became so big because of, and not in spite of, how utterly dumb the whole thing was. Number 1. Eugene. Nick Dinsmore proved himself to be a solid hand in the ring, but after 8 years in the business, he still couldn't impress the management and was stuck in the WWE developmental system, Ohio Valley Wrestling. His luck changed when he came up with a great idea to get onto the main roster in 2004. As much as we'd like to think otherwise, the Eugene character wasn't some cruel joke devised by Vince McMahon or the WWE creative team. It was actually Dinsmore himself that came up with the idea for the character. Eugene was slow outside of the ring, but a genius inside of it. Eugene would make his debut on the WWE main roster during the spring of 2004 as the kayfabe nephew of general manager Eric Bischoff. Bischoff assigned William Regal to take care of him, and the two were paired up. The Englishman was somewhat reluctant at first, bothered by Eugene's antics and considering him annoying before growing fond of him. Fans were also fond of Eugene, and it didn't take long for his show-stealing antics to get some pretty big pops. He became such a popular act in such a small amount of time that he soon found himself in major angles on Raw, getting in the right with big names like World Heavyweight Champion Chris Benoit and even having a run-in with Evolution. WWE managed the character perfectly, and Dinsmore gave everything he could to the character. It had the potential to kill his career, but Eugene would give Dinsmore the most exposure he got during his career. He would become an enhancement talent, of course, but there's no denying how over Eugene was at his peak. Well guys, that's our list. Can you think of any other dumb gimmicks in wrestling that the audience absolutely loved? Leave us a comment down below and let us know. If you like this video, don't forget to check out our previous video, 18 toughest wrestlers who finished their matches despite getting injured. You can also check out our other highly rated videos by clicking at the upper right hand corner or down in the description field. If you did like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. You can hit that subscribe button to get more content just like this, the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and as always, thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome to the SlatRock Wrestling Channel. We're big wrestling fans, and if you like wrestling too, you're in the right place. Our channel contains passionately produced wrestling-related videos. Our subject matter experts have been producing amazing facts from the world of professional wrestling thanks to their world of experience. We're proud to say that we've been producing videos of great visual experience thanks to our high-level designers and audio talent. To check some of our high-rated videos, please visit SlatRock Wrestling on YouTube. Click here to subscribe to our channel, or simply type SlatRock Wrestling in the YouTube search bar. Once you're in the channel, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post any video. You can follow us at SlatRock on Twitter. Once again, welcome to SlatRock Wrestling.